Hey everyone, it's Drew Kuhlmann. I am happy to present with you what is happening in Lexington, South Carolina as far as real estate. Right now, uh, everyone's hearing about the Fed raising interest rates, concerns of what that's going to do to the housing market. So while some of that data is going to show up in the future about 45 days from now, I want to go ahead and kind of look back as far as what has the trend been, what is taking place. So many of us hear things and take it as facts, but it's not really facts. So, what I want to do is bring you a non bias, me just digging into the data. This is me being a realtor, doing my homework and sharing it publicly. So, I hope you enjoy it. Let's go ahead and get started. So, what I'm going to do is I'm starting off here with just the core, Lexington. I'm breaking it down between zip codes 29072, 29073. Most of us know what we typically see is 29072 is a more expensive zip code. And they're zoned obviously for different schools. 29072 is north of I-20, closer to Lake Murray. 29073 is more out in Red Bank, near the Walmart south of I-20. Both have done extremely well as far as price appreciation, but let's go ahead and see what has been taking place. Okay, so let's start off with the 29072 zip code. In March, we had 36 transactions. They did sell for more than the average list price, and the average days on markets were 6. And what we're doing is, since we're worried about the market changing, there's certain stats I really want to pay attention to. Are days on market creeping up? Are the sales prices no longer going above the list price, right? And then the last one, which is tough to capture on stats, is how many deals are falling through. And then, of course, we'll also want to pay attention to the closing amounts. Now, just to give you a heads up, the fourth column is half a month's worth of data. So while that one's going to look like it is dropping off a cliff, like if you looked at a graph of it, it's not. It's just we have basically multiply it by 2. And to be honest, it's probably going to be more than 2 because so many closings happen in the last week of the month. So anyways, we're starting back at 29072. March was a good month. April, 49 transactions. So again, as we go to spring to summer, traditionally we start getting more transactions. Average list, 226. What surprises me is it didn't go up from the previous month. That doesn't scare us. What I did on this was I actually did a price range of, it was 150 to 300,000. And I actually then bumped it up, I think, to 325, just in case something was listed at 300 and fell slightly above it. Okay, so April, again, days on market, 9 days. When I first got in the business, it used to be 90. Then the last housing crash, it went up to 120 days. So 9 days is just basically saying right now it's still skewed to the seller. May, 33 transactions. So May dropped from April. So we got to figure out why that happened. It'd be interesting for me to go back and see when the interest rate started changing. I don't think that's an interest rate play because you typically can lock your rates, well before the closing. So in April, the interest rates were still low. So I'd want to do a little more research on that because that number seems slightly low to me. But the average list price, it stayed very similar, about 226. Average sale, again, 234,000. So right now, we're not seeing a big increase, which is what I expected. But it also could be that we're focusing on a certain price point and like the houses are becoming smaller. It's like you're getting a little bit less for your dollar. So sometimes stats can be a little bit deceiving, but what we want to do is we want to break into them, see what it's telling us, and then dig further to verify it. Okay, and then we're in the month of June now. 18 transactions. The average list went up to 247. The average sale went up by 20,000 to 257. What we see is every single month, the average sale was above the average list price. Now we're going to go to 29073. 29073 tends to give you a little bit more bang for your buck for the dollar. So what we're going to see is in March, 43 transactions, list price 235, average sale 240, days on market 14. You'll see a pattern that the days on market are a little bit more every single month in 73 versus 29072. 54 transactions. So again, that's a good amount of transactions. It's still selling above list price, days on market 13. In May, 47 transactions. So we are getting a lot more transactions in this area. And what it is 29072. If we bump up the price point, then all of a sudden 29072 will get more closings than 29073. So it kind of depends on what market we're looking at. But again, days on market 9, they're selling for above list price. And so far in June, 23 transactions. They've been closing at 255, about 6,000 above list price. Days on market did creep up to 18 days on market. That's not too concerning when we had a 14 and a 13, but it is something we say, let's just pay attention to that. Okay, so right now, what this is saying right here was, right now, the days on market are low. Things are selling above list price. That means the sellers have had an advantage. Okay, so let's go to this next slide. This one just kind of shows, and this one is combining it's Lexington. I took this from the local MLS, but what you're seeing is in March, we had a decent amount of closings. April, it went up. May, less than April. And then June, if you double this, it's going to be pretty similar. Now, June, we tend to have a little bit more closings than May. So, but again, that's not telling me a story yet. It's something I'm paying attention to. You'll see again, average sales versus list price consistently a little bit over 100%. Okay, so that's just some of the stats. Now what I want to do, and this is more the fun part, probably should have done it at the beginning, but I'm going to show you what do you get. So what I'm going to do is what has closed in the last 15 days in 29073, 29072. I'm trying to stick around 250, keep things, even, and let's see what you get for the dollar. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen real quick. Okay, so right now, let me see which zip code we are starting at. I could do that quickly by just looking at the price points, right? Okay, so this one looks like it's going to be 29073. So this one closed for 230,000. It was actually listed at 225, so that's staying very similar to what we've been seeing. The days on market are 4, which is below what the average days on markets have been, but within that range. Okay, so what I want to do is just let's look at the pictures. So again, this is something that is already closed. It's not available for sale right now, but it's me letting you know this has closed for this price in the last 15 days. So we can say this is basically a real estate fact of what an appraisal would use to start valuing properties. I did dig into it, and this one was an FHA loan the buyers closed with. I did another video that broke down how are these transactions closing? Are they conventional loans, cash deals? You've been hearing about how all these corporations are coming in all cash, and some loan companies are now turning financing buyers into cash buyers, charging a little bit more so that they can win the offers. So again, let's go ahead and just take a look at this property. And if you want more details on it, just as research, let me know. But if you want to find something similar, we can, of course, do that. I'm just going to kind of thumb through, and you feel free to comment down below your favorite things about the house. Okay. So, I mean, this is, what we typically see. It's a neighborhood. This one's over by Lexington High School. This one is a little bit smaller of a house. It is fenced in. I don't think it had it may have had a garage. Let's see here. Yep, it did have a garage attached to it. So square foot, about 1,300 square feet. Okay, I'm going to pull up a map real quick so you can see where it's located. Okay, so you have Lexington High School here. There's Highway 1, and right after you pass Lexington, up on the right, not too far, is the neighborhood. Okay, so now we're going to move to 290. Okay, that one was 29072. Now we're in 29073. Let me verify. Southbrook should be 29073. Okay, so what we should see is, since we're going from 72 to 29073, you should be seeing a little bit more house for the dollar. This one closed at 225,000. Let me double check on this because, okay, so it was listed at 225. I have it closing at 230. This is a nice neighborhood. They have a community pool. You're going to see the pictures coming up soon. So on this one, it's a 2-car garage. You got a nice little front porch. You have some brick accent with a vinyl house. You're going to see a little bit more architectural detail. Again, this one's a little bit bigger, and you're going to notice that even in the pictures. This one, the agent used a wide angle lens, so it really shows more of the property, which makes it just feel larger and makes it feel more comfortable when you view the property. And again, this is what you're seeing for around that 230,000 mark. And this one is just south of I-20 in Lexington off exit 51. That's the community pool. That's not their pool. A nice little playground, covered area. Okay, so that's what, again, you're getting for around that 230 mark. So I hope this helped. If you have any more questions on what's taking place in the market, let me know. I'm happy to answer any questions as far as what I think is going to be coming. Right now, I'm showing what has just happened. Of course, I have some expectations of the way the market's going to be shifting, and I'm happy to discuss those strategies and what my beliefs are by phone. Just reach out to me. I hope you are having a great day. I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for this video. Hope you have a good time. I'll talk to you later. Bye.